When I grew up, my mother, my father, my grandparents, my great-grandfather could not register to vote simply because of the color of his skin. There were people all across the South were asked to count the number of bubbles in a bar of soap, the number of jelly beans in a jar. There were African-American lawyers and doctors being told they could not read or write well enough to become a registered voter. We have to change that. March, book 1 would tell you. Book 2 and book 3 would tell you that we've been involved in a long, long struggle. People died trying to exercise the right to vote. Beaten, left bloody, unconscious. On March 7, 1965, when I had all of my hair and a few pounds lighter, a group of us attempted to march from Selma to Montgomery to dramatize to the nation and to the world that people of color could not register to vote. We were beaten, left bloody, and unconscious. 600 of us left church on a Sunday afternoon and marched to the Edmund Pettus Bridge in an orderly, peaceful, nonviolent fashion. I was leading the march with Jose Williams on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s staff. We get to the edge of the bridge. Jose Williams said, "John, can you swim?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, Jose, can you swim?" He said, "A little." I said, "Well, there's too much water there. We're not going to jump. We're going forward." And we continued to walk. And members of Alabama state troopers came and said, "This is an unlawful march. Will not be allowed to continue. I give you 3 minutes to disperse and return to your homes or to your church." And Jose Williams said, "Major, give us a moment to kneel and pray." Again, he said, "Troopers advance." I said, "Major, may I have a word?" He said, "There will be no word." Again, troopers advance. You saw these men putting on their gas masks. They came toward us, beating us with nightsticks and bullwhips, trampling us with horses and releasing the tear gas. I was the first person to be hit. I was hit in the head by a state trooper with a nightstick. My legs went from under me. I thought I saw death. I thought I was going down that bridge. I had a concussion on that bridge. And a group of young men took me back across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, back to a little church, Brown Chapel AME church that we had left from. And somehow I was able to stand up. 17 of us had been hurt. They asked me to say something, and I stood up and said something like, "I don't understand it. How President Johnson can send troops to Vietnam and cannot send troops to Selma, Alabama to protect people who only desires to register to vote." The next thing I knew, I'd been admitted to the Good Samaritan Hospital, operated by a group of nuns who took care of us. The next day, Martin Luther King Jr. came to my bedside and said, "John, don't worry. I made an appeal for religious leaders to come to Selma." That following Tuesday, more than 1,000 ministers, priests, rabbis, and nuns came and marched across the bridge. That evening, after the march was over, 3 young ministers went out to try to get something to eat. They were attacked, and one was so severely beaten by members of the Klan, he died about 3 days later at a hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. But at the attempted march and the efforts on the part of these religious leaders hastened today from the President of the United States, Lyndon Johnson, who came forth and introduced the Voting Rights Act. And as a matter of fact, he spoke to the nation that night, and he closed that speech by saying, "And we shall overcome," using the theme song of the Civil Rights Movement. The first time an American president has said it. I was standing next to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I looked at him. Tears came down his face, and we all cried a little. So when people say nothing has changed, I feel like saying, "Come and walk in my shoes. I will show you change." Those signs are gone, and they will not return. We've come a distance, but we still have a distance to go. Today in America, there are forces trying to take us back. We've come too far, and we're not going back. We're going forward to create one America, one people, one family. In the final analysis, we all live in the same house. It doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. We're one people. And we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters. If not, we will perish as fools. March, in the final analysis, is saying that we can create an American, we can create a nation at peace with itself, where no one is left out or left behind because of their background or the color of their skin. So I think Andrew was said to each one of us, we must come and march together. There are people trying to destroy a little piece of real estate we call earth, trying to take us back. But we all must find a way to save our country, save democracy, save our children, and create a beloved community, a beloved world. Thank you very much.